See, no, you had this whole conversation with me in your head because I didn't.
No, I did. I told you.
Hear any of this. This is all like completely new stuff. So, weirdo. I feel like you need to move over more because the thing's right in your face. $10 seconds.
This is Cubs Radio. Cubs Radio.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Comedy Radio Show, coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us this morning. GovsRadio.com is the website. You can see our show there live right now.
Experience at a Knockem comedy murder mystery show. Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And of course, some music. Knockem Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Absolutely. Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
I had an awesome time.
All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knockem Comedy for your event today. What will you experience at a Knockem Comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
The Knockem Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Comedy Radio.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy with those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully you'll get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of The Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sallie on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie. Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast, coming at you live from Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That's right. That is the name of the Facebook page. That's the name of the YouTube channel. That is where you'll find us today on the YouTube channel. Comment and say hi, and we'll read it and say hi back, and we'll laugh at you for some reason. The Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, where tonight you will see Nick DiPaolo is here tonight. How do you like that?
Awesome.
Tomorrow night, Andy Haynes. And, of course, don't forget, May 21st, you'll see John Ziegler. He's recording a comedy special. Of course, in the Giggle Room tonight, Terry McNeely and that guy right there, Chris Cassandra, will be here in the Giggle Room with Lou Pratz and Nikki Gins and Courtney Ortera and some other great comedians. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Charlie Paquette and friends. And don't forget as well, Joe Pontillo and Brian McGinnis on June 4th. The Brokerage in Belmore. Tonight, Andy Haynes is playing there. Ooh. And then, of course, tomorrow night, the Uncle Louie Variety Show and Eric Tartaglione. That's tomorrow night at the Brokerage in Belmore. Tonight at McGuire's in Bohemia, Joe DeVito is playing. The Late Show is the Uptown Comedy Show. And the one and only Joey Cola is there tomorrow night. A super lineup this weekend at all three comedy clubs of Governors. Go to govs.com and check out the full schedule. Make your reservations for some great shows. And, of course, the camera angle we're showing you is this nice view of a great studio. If you would like to do your own podcast, you want to just, whether it's a podcast with us or you want to do it on your own, or you just need to record any type of video or audio, we got you covered right here in the studio. We got microphones, we got cameras, we got lights and screens and phones and graphics and Zoom and water. All sorts of great stuff here. Get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Gov's Comedy Club Podcasts.
Do it.
It's all there. All right, and I think that's all my announcements. I think, yeah. So now I'll switch to this camera angle.
It was
boom
for Joe Winchell because he said he's watching.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Joe Winchell, for checking us out today. So hope everybody's well. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Andy's here. Chris is here. All right, I don't know where to begin. I'll start with Andy because we missed you last Friday.
I wouldn't call it missing me.
Why not?
Oh, maybe I would.
Maybe you didn't miss us, but we miss you.
No, I had to go to a cousin of mine's wedding.
In the Boston area?
In the greater Watertown was specific. And we were staying at Waltham. In Waltham.
Waltham?
Waltham.
Because I guess we would call it Waltham.
Waltham, that's what we would say. That's what we would say.
But the troglodytes and Massachusetts have seen. When we went past Worcester, my wife's like, Worcester?
Well, right, that's a perfect example. It's spelled Worcester, but they pronounce it Worcestershire.
Worcester. Worcester, Mass.
It's odd because that's where they started the revolution, but they tried to keep it as close to the language that they were speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
As
right.
possible.
Like, we don't want the taxes, but we totally still want to be English. Is that okay?
Is that all right?
Because I'm totally into being the whole, T.
I don't want to pay for the tea, but I'll drink it.
Exactly. I don't want to pay. You know what? I'll even pay for it. I'm not going to pay extra.
Tax.
Yeah. Yeah, because Starbucks. There's a Starbucks on every corner there now.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think it's the money you guys are really caring about.
Starbucks.
2%.
You mean the Starbucks that's unionizing?
Unionized.
No.
Massapequa, baby.
Right.
First one on Long Island to unionize.
Ground zero.
That's right. Good for them, I say.
If your coffee took long before,
That's right.
it's going to take a lot longer now.
And that, you know what? I'm all right with that.
Because I don't drink Starbucks
That's
coffee.
right. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I find the taste of coffee disgusting.
No, screw the
and
man.
also pizza and cheese and everything else.
When the man takes a $7 million raise last year and the co-workers and the workers got nothing, I'm all for them unionizing. That's right.
Eat the rich.
Take that, Jeff Bosey, who's watching. He's not a union man. What is he asking? What in the age of Aquarius is Andy?
I think it's when I was
the
dancing.
opening thing.
Yes, where I'm doing my interpretive dance. For the sign language.
Well,
not American sign language. It's Andy sign language.
You're right, which is more important.
So with the Starbucks thing, though, it's going to be like that morning rush hour. And that's when you're going to get, okay, I'm going on break.
Yeah. So
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Union 15.
Union 15. Coffee break.
It's all a matter of safety. Need that break. If you don't get the break, who knows? They could wear out. They could spill some hot coffee and hurt somebody.
When I was in the Air Force and people in the other services would be like, they treat you guys so much better and you got better looking women and all of it is true. Better food. But if you think about it for a minute, we are the only ones who our entire mission is to keep a piece of technology up in the air.
Okay.
And do you want the guy who's pre-flighting your jet that you're about to get into to have had a shitty breakfast?
Right.
And has had to look at ugly girls?
Like, yes. No.
Right.
You want him as happy as he can be.
Exactly.
Right. And you want the other guy angry.
Right.
Angry.
Because you want to be, you got to let them off the leash and they go and they kill.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the Navy, they give them nice little uniforms and they drop everybody off everywhere. They're like the logistics company for the armed services, right?
They stencil their names on the top of their pocket.
Now,
on
was
the
this
right
prior
side.
to Top Gun, or was?
This has been going on for a long time. My
Yes.
brother joined the Navy in '91, and he came home and he had these uniforms, and we're like, and he did like a fashion show, which was like, all right, man.
Did a fashion
because they have like 15 fucking uniforms.
Oh, okay.
We only have like 2.
He's like, hey, I'm going to be on a boat for like 8 months with a bunch of guys. Which one do you think? Which one do you think looks good on me?
Let me get the scarf. I got to tie. I always mess up how to tie the scarf.
Look at my assless chaps.
But that's like we would be like, listen, semen, potatoes. Like you got to look at their ass to know who they are. Like you put your name where people are looking.
So how was the wedding?
It was good. It was good. It was
it's a wedding.
It was like somebody ordered it from wish.com, but it was just like not 100% together, but it didn't matter because it was all about family and whatnot. And Daphne was the flower girl.
Oh, nice. Well, that's cool. No?
Well, she was like starting to get nervous. Dresses aren't her thing. And so she starts going down and she's, because I told you that she started off being like, yeah, I'm going to be the flower girl. So I'm just going to I get to throw flowers at people.
Oh,
that
would be awesome.
That is not, let's not ruin her fucking.
Throw flowers at people and you get to water them with a water gun.
Right. But she just very mechanically was doing this.
You sterilized her.
Right. She's just like looking at everybody like. So she came around and she was sitting with us, and we noticed there's something in the basket And we're like, hey, Daff, what is that? She's like, oh, it's Parisa. That's my cousin. It's Parisa's cell phone. I'm like, okay. Why did she give it to you? She forgot to get. I was the only one left. And she was like, oh my God, my phone. Where am I going to put my phone?
But what the bride? This is the bride.
Yes.
What? So she wanted the cell phone up at the altar? Is that why she?
No, she had the cell
why
phone. She didn't want to leave it.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry.
And it was kind of like the entrance to a building where she was, because it was like a senior center. Like I said, wish.com.
It's amazing. Like, even on your wedding day, you can't just say, today, I'm just going to leave this somewhere.
Well, a lot of the coordination
was through the cell phone.
Like it was a little on the fly.
Right.
It's like she needed that fucking cell phone right up into that moment. Because it was
the priest.
Yeah, like
really, yeah.
Because like we had gone swimming in the morning, and
she's texting the guy to make sure. Are you up there?
You're still coming?
Where the fuck are you?
When the DJ got there, he sets up. First of all, he had to set up inside PA. Then he had to like literally just go through a door outside and then set up all his shit. He didn't have anybody there helping him.
Oh wow!
He's the only black guy there. And
now, do you adjust the cash in the envelope after?
No, I'm a straightforward
because everywhere you go outside of New York, it's a completely different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People are like, what is that? I'm like, it's cash.
Right.
It's New York.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? What is that?
Well, they are, the modern era and everything. They had a website which actually had different places where you could donate to their house. Oh. They're saving up for a house, or the wedding, or vacation.
Wow,
so it was like, oh, cool.
So you don't even have to bring the cash
physically.
Right. Wow.
I had forgotten a card, so my sister-in-law's like, hey, I got an extra card if anybody wants it. I'm like, me. And got it, and it's one where the money is supposed to go in. It's got the flap, and it actually says place money here.
Yeah.
I'm not putting any fucking money in.
And what else are you supposed to put there?
So I put a star there, and then at the bottom I put a star that said see website.
Reference website.
So, but it was really good to see family, and we had a great time.
And what was it? Was it? I remember earlier in the week you were commenting during the show. You had a story to tell. I don't remember if it was about. I don't remember what it was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh God, I do remember.
We were talking about something. You said I got a story about that, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear about it on Friday. And I don't remember. I didn't write it down, so I don't remember what it was.
That's all right. I'll try to find it. You guys
all right.
Take on the show.
All right, so I'll move on over to Chris, who's got the big show tonight.
Nice.
Look at him.
Yeah.
You all right over there?
I'm all right. You know what? I'm it kind of word got out around the neighborhood a little more than I had expected.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's been a while, so I've been trying to, I've been working.
So we're talking probably around
10 years.
10 years.
My wife and I went over this. It was before my son was born.
Okay.
And what I've realized in the newer stuff that I've written is, I don't know where it came from, but now it's just everything's more about just everything ends with jerking off, rubbing out. It's like it's much more raunchier and dirty than I was. And I'm like, where did this come from? It's like, it must be like the 10 years of being married with a child or something.
I was going to say, that sounds like, yeah.
But it's funny because...
So it sounds like she's going to kick your ass after the show.
No, you know what? She doesn't get any of my jokes anyway. So I'm done running it past her, Oh,
I feel
we did come up with it somehow to kind of, maybe I give her my cheat sheet. And if I get lost, she can... and it's
do
all
what?
like,
she's gonna like
go with your fat ass,
really?
And the Peloton. Oh yeah,
you're just gonna have her yell it out like that.
You're dumb ass and this, whatever it may be. But it's funny because it got kind of out, and it's funny because then you run into people at like a baseball game, and people you don't even I didn't know they were coming. Like, you better be funny. I'm like, you know what?
You better be funny. What if I'm
one
not?
Funny fucking thing in 3 years. I better be funny. Like, you know what? At least I think what I'm doing is I'm bringing a bunch of people that probably haven't had a real go out date night with your wife in over like 2 years. So either way, it'll be fun, right? And maybe the familiarity of everybody, I can get up there, I can get into a groove where I'm like kind of talking.
Right.
Because I think that's where I'm at my best, when I'm just talking. Every time I've done comedy, I think I've written well and I've kind of been stiff. and I'd like to just get into like my thing.
Right
You
on.
know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It might be.
Yeah, because
like,
you're not a setup punch guy.
I kind of, I am, and then I'm not, because now, like, but my storytelling is what can really be well,
Right.
But you don't want to have,
Make people wait for the laugh.
like just wasted words. And I've been taking the comedy class with John Truson, and we kind of been talking about that, like it's just the wasted words. But there are some stuff, and a lot of these stories, some of these people we've discussed howling and the thing, and I'm like, that's really good comedy. So I'm like, well, fuck, they kind of heard that. But they won't remember it, so I'm trying. And then when I'm trying to, like, I figured out ways to maybe tag like an older joke, bring the joke in and add to it.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've been, I've been working on some stuff.
Right.
It's been fun, but at the end of the day, it's gonna work one of two ways. Either I'm gonna get kind of nervous, but I think I figure half a Xanax and a bourbon, I'd be fine. Right.
And then they'll see Terry after, so then they'll forget
and
about
then
you.
they'll see Terry after, and it was funny. I was talking to him yesterday, and I'm like, listen, I got like, we're looking at almost like 30 people like coming for me. I was like, you got to get some. Get that room to 50, 60 so I could at least stare at people I don't know and, hit them with a little
Imagine them naked.
Right. Imagine them
I've already imagined everybody I know naked.
naked.
I've seen some of them naked, too.
I've seen some.
And I don't want to repeat any of that.
So, I'm excited. And it was funny because then Terry had said, like, he's like, I'll probably put you closer to me because I don't want all your people having to sit through everybody else.
Right.
And I'm like, all right. So that'll maybe help, just to be in a room and watching people go for a little bit.
I would think after 10 years, this is a good scenario because people, they're going to laugh no matter what. But
I don't want the nervous laugh because they feel they need to laugh for me.
Right. This is a good confidence boost to get you back in.
Get me going. I think I developed my opener to come out to kind of like be something that's like, all right, well, we're not going to go there. And then fucking go there.
Right on.
And then it'd be like, all right, so now we're all clear what's going to happen over the next 9 to 10 minutes. Right? And if we're not, you just get the fuck out. And the one good thing is I have my good friend Charlie. He's a big guy. And now with all this Dave Chappelle shit, I'm putting him right next to him. I'm like, you're sitting right there. I was like, you make sure nobody bum rushes the stage. Like, people are nuts.
Is that do you guys think about that? Is that a concern?
I thought about it the second that Chris Rock got slapped. I'm like, said it. This is going to give people that emboldenedness that's what you do.
Right. And there is like something of a dividing line. And like yesterday, Eric said something about it, which was that he doesn't really play in that area.
He's also muscle and
comedy,
taekwondo
and low center of gravity. Very low center of gravity. It's like in the middle of the earth. I hope he's watching. No, he's not. But I think for myself, I was like, where in my act would somebody want to smack me? And like I do have like a little bit of racial humor, very little bit, but I think I come down on the right side of things, if you will. The one I'm nervous about is when I talk about boomers, because boomers now think that boomer is like their N-word.
Yeah, but I don't think those are the ones that are right because we've been conditioned to be thicker skinned, right?
No, because actually it's the opposite. People who think they have thicker skin, anybody who says that they went to the School of Hard Knocks on Facebook. First of all, the School of Hard Knocks, if you're listening out there, grammar. You really need to force grammar on these fucking morons.
Yes,
but like it's actually the opposite. It's like, so if somebody's like, I'm uncomfortable with that, there's like, you shouldn't be uncomfortable with that. Because, whoa, I'm just saying how I feel.
Right.
Like you don't need to fucking like, now it's all of society sucks because I don't like your joke. I'm not trying to cancel or anything. I'm just saying I don't like it.
I don't like it. Right.
But what I say is like, then is it pronounced boomer or booma?
There you go.
So I think a boomer might rush the stage on me.
I mean, I had this. I don't know what happened. I had a bunch of sets that were on YouTube from years ago, and only one is there. Like I don't know what the hell happened.
Okay.
So I sent it to John, and he's like, it was pretty good. Tighten it up, and then he was like, depending on the crowd, the gay stuff can get you hung at the stake in today's world, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's really not that bad. And I'm like, it's the guy laughing on the video is my gay friend who's taping the show.
Right.
Like, so I got an affirmation from them. It's all
right.
good. Yeah. And then I always had my closing joke, which was, I was always talking about me and Italian and growing up in New York. And then I just went one thing about the parades, and there was a Puerto Rican black joke, and, and it used to work, and I knew it was going to work, and it wasn't going to work. And now it's like I'm definitely frightened to even try it, right? It's like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Because I think what you have now is, back in the day, right, if a guy got drunk or somebody was a pain in the air, they thought they were funny and they heckled, usually they're not as witty as you up there, right? And you could fucking hammer them.
Right.
Now I think if you hammer him, that's when the guy's just like, okay, now I'm going to bum rush.
Right.
You're not going to bum rush by him heckling. You're just going to verbally assault and attack and make him look foolish, right? I think they like, if this guy comes at me, I'm coming at him.
Well, to equate it back to like when we were all in school, like I wasn't a particularly big dude, and I've always been a little weird, so people liked to fuck with me. And I'd be a little more like, the worst thing you can do is make somebody feel stupid. Like when I would say something to somebody and they wouldn't get it, but everybody else did, and they're all laughing, and they're like,
right.
Their first instinct's going to be to throw a punch or try to tackle you.
And you get people drunk, right?
Yes.
They drink, and then they feel emboldened. So it's like, which really is sad because, I mean, at the end of the day, right, I mean, when we make these outlandish jokes, right, we're really exposing the absurdity of the situation, and people can't recognize that anymore.
Well, see, this is, but there's another layer to this, I think, and I know I've talked to you about this, is that if you agree with the things I'm saying, there's something wrong with you. I'm not saying...
If you can't find the humor in it, then...
Well, the humor is that this is ridiculous.
Right. Exactly.
I am saying something ridiculous. You should be offended, and you should take it out on your laugh. Yeah, like, oh my God, yes, that is true. And like, it's so stupid because we're pointing out those things. It's when people get a little too close to like what their real
because they've been...
shit is like.
I think because, they've been conditioned to think... I mean, this might be controversial, but at the end of the day...
Oh, boy.
Right? At the end of the day, right? We all know, it's been said for years, and we all know, like, stereotypes are there for reasons, right?
Yes.
It's not that somebody just made this up,
right?
But I think now we've been conditioned to believe that this world should be a utopian thing, and it's like, listen, at the end of the day, everybody's got some sort of... There's a bigotry and a racism in you, that you overcome that's your own self that you overcome, right? There's always some sort of, everybody's gonna have a different opinion because somebody's just doing something different than them, looks different than them, does something like that, right? I think what's happened, unfortunately, is it was very easy. The word racism was able to get redefined as it's only one against all, and not, at the end of the day, if I go into the South Bronx and I walk into a pub house, no matter what, I might be okay, but people are gonna.
Well, the fact that you called it a pub house, yes, you probably get your ass kicked
because they're opening up those places in the South Bronx.
Are there any pub houses? Excuse me, young man.
I tried to be.
Could you direct me to the closest pub?
It's fucking everything up. It's fucking up vocabularies and shit. They're opening up draft houses in the South Bronx, but people are gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, look at little whitey come in," but it's fine. It's okay. They're not gonna jump me. Everybody's good. But I think
as soon as you finish beating on that plastic bucket, could you direct me to where the best brewery that has a good IPA?
It's a good IPA, please.
You look like you would know.
Right. But it's just I think everybody's been conditioned to think that the world should be just like this perfect little thing, and then let me beat my chest because I'm so much greater than you, especially with social media, because it's just Mike Tyson, before he hit the guy, he told him.
Oh, yeah.
He told him straight out, social media has made you people think you can bully people without getting punched in the face.
Right.
And I've been saying it for years. People do not get punched in the face enough anymore. I've crossed lines. I know the lines no longer to cross.
Right.
By getting punched in the fucking face as a kid growing up, or,
or you learn to do it funny.
Or you learn to do it funny, which I've always been, at least they've been able to say a lot more than most people, because I guess when I'm saying it, people know it's not malicious, right? I have a way of doing it.
But that's what, that's what I'm saying. Like, you end up coming down on, I haven't seen your set, but
on the people that do it.
You're coming down on the same side as the people that it sounds like you're making fun of, but what you're actually doing is exposing some kind of stupidity.
And I don't do that a lot. I mean, most of the stuff is mostly jokes on me, and things like that, and you know,
Right.
and stuff like that. So I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So my openers, if you guys can I try them on you for tonight?
Yeah,
This is
fucking
Yeah, I would love
10
that,
years,
actually.
all right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, nobody's watching.
Yeah, so this is how I want to come out. So I want to come out.
Oh, you're coming
Everybody's
out.
gonna, hey, yeah, I'm coming out.
That's cool.
Everybody's gonna clap. It's gonna settle down. And I'm just gonna go. A black guy, a Puerto Rican, and a Jew walk into a bar.
Nice.
It's 2022. If you think I'm finishing that joke, you're out of your mind.
Very nice.
So an Afghan and a Pakistani walk into a bar. I don't know what happened next. I got the fuck out of it. And I think that'll right. Is that a good?
Yeah, no, I think that's
It's like, you know, we're not going to go there, but yeah, we're going to fucking
Yeah,
go
no,
there.
actually-
and then none of it is like that the rest of the way. But it's just to grab the attention, let them know, hey, listen, you signed up for this shit.
Right.
You've been excited about this for 3 weeks, breaking my balls. This is what you're getting. You've
So-
been in my home.
So
You've seen me at my worst.
You've all seen my penis.
you see my penis. You see what bourbon does to me.
at every stage of erection. You've all seen it.
But you know, it's I just think, like I said, and I think social media has created this where everybody believes that they have to.
Everybody gets brave behind the keyboard.
Right, and they have to present themselves as though, you know, oh my, like you're so beneath, like you're the problem with society. And I'm like, I honestly think it's the other way. I think it's by creating the, you know, whether it's comedy, it's drama, through writing, through storytelling. It's having the conversations that everybody says, well, we can't have the conversation. You're having the conversation.
Right.
You're cutting off the conversation right now.
Right.
It's
That's
all
what's
about
happening.
communication in any topic.
You're cutting off the communications.
Last night, Kevin Hart was on Kimmel. And first off, to your point, he said, you know, if you're going to get so mad, you're going to get so offended, well, don't buy the ticket.
Don't go.
He said, nobody's making you go.
Right.
But which other people have said too, but what I really thought interesting that he said last night, he was glad that this happened to Chappelle. He said, because just like you guys are saying, after the Will Smith thing, now everybody's going to do it. He said, so now, what will people see? They're going to see this guy, exactly,
with his leg over his shoulder.
right, and that's what he said. He goes, what you
dude,
see?
that guy's arm is inverted.
See Busta Rhymes just
Right, and that's what he said. He goes, so now what you know is if you rush the stage, you're going to get your ass
You're gonna
kicked.
get your
Right.
ass kicked.
And
right.
that guy got his ass right. Busta Rhymes, Jamie Foxx was
Man,
all
they
over it.
locked his ass up, man.
I just feel
Even
bad
Chappelle
because
himself got a couple of kicks in.
I think that the guy just wanted to get an Oscar. The hard way.
Well, you see, there is a meme floating around saying, I got to meet Dave Chappelle, but you see him on
yeah. But so you see the absurdity of the whole concept of how people think and stuff. And at the end of the day, you see it live, gun knife, and they're like, nah, we're not going to charge the guy with a felony. It's like, well, what?
Oh, is that what they said? They're
Well,
not charging him
because
with a felony? Oh, I didn't know
the
that.
thing is that it's a looks like a gun. It's not, but it has like
It's
a blade.
And it's not 6 inches.
It's
or
not. It's not
something.
4 inches. It looks tiny because of the
Right.
up close
But if he-
picture
let's
that they
say he
took.
got him in the
Oh,
jug.
listen,
Right?
If he had knitting needles with
So
him,
we're going a step further. Now
Yeah.
we're going to say, yeah, you know what? You're going to get your ass kicked from rushing the stage, but that's the worst that's going to happen.
Right.
you're not going to be held, personally responsible through court of law. Yeah.
There are videos that go around of people who are performing in places where somebody starts throwing the bottles of beer at them.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
it's like
Yeah.
Well, I
Mind-blowing.
talked about that last week with the Yankee fans just a couple
that
weeks
was
ago.
I
that was disgraceful.
I almost had to walk away from the Yankees,
Right.
but that little section of those bleacher creatures has been a bunch of jackasses for many,
yeah,
many
but
years.
it started and left and then continued
Yeah.
to right for you.
yes.
But you're right about like what Kevin Hart was saying about not buying the ticket, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I love Law and Order. I don't like sexual assault, so I don't watch the SVU one.
Right. Okay.
I watch all the others.
Right.
Right.
Like I have an option.
Right.
What do I want to watch? If that one makes me uncomfortable,
All right.
like how many teachers can we rape in a stairwell?
In the
I
logic
don't wanna
system, the logic system here, though, is that the people who do watch SVU love sex
Sexual
crimes.
assault.
So all these sex crimes, they're so into it.
Yeah.
You sick fucks.
So Millennial Stoner, who is
That's
is that
Joe.
Winchell?
Yeah.
Hello, Joe. He says the guy is a rapper that made a song about Chappelle, so he thinks he did this to get his music to pop. Look up Darren Frost. And Tex Fartson says, I remember Pauly Shore getting punched in the face on stage. Oh, yeah, I can remember
that makes
Oh,
sense.
in my dream, I always think of Pauly Shore getting punched in the
Yeah,
face.
I wish he got punched more, actually.
I wish he
Though
would get
he
punched
not-
in more of his movies.
This third act he's in, though, I think he's
Actually, I heard something
really
about
become like
Yeah.
I watched, there was a documentary that follows him around with him doing dates in like Minneapolis and Wisconsin and everything.
Yeah, I mean, did you see
Very
the
good.
documentary on the Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, you got to. That couldn't have been easy, right?
Right.
Your mom banging everybody, drugs everywhere. You're 8 years old, 9 years old, and you're surrounded by like legends, right?
Right.
And you decide this is what you want to do,
Right.
right? I mean, that can't be easy.
I actually I have a lot more respect for him now after seeing these and see.
His movies were awful.
Yeah.
we can
Terrible.
say that, right?
But you know, trying to make a buck, you can't. Like,
I would
Right.
do
cash
it.
in.
Whatever.
Fucking in the army now, motherfuckers.
I want to know who Tex
be in
Fartson
number 2.
is. Do we know who Tex Fartson
No
Fartson
clue.
is? No. All right, and then Millennial Stoner says, Billy Guyer almost got hit by a guy at an open mic.
Yes.
Do you
No.
know-
Billy almost killed the guy. No.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't go to it. It was at round 2 in Bohemia. It's like a block away from McGuire's.
Okay.
And it was a British guy. And they just told me the whole story recently, where apparently this guy was British and like Billy goes up and like tells a few jokes, and the guy's like, "You're not funny." Just yelled at the Billy, and then I guess everybody else went up and whatnot. And he was saying, "You guys are all funny, but he's not funny."
Wow.
And so Billy just like snapped, and like it took. Thank God Fat Jay was there. It was Fat
Jay's gonna
Jay.
be on the show tonight with me.
Nice,
Oh, is he? Yeah.
good people.
Oh, nice.
Love,
I didn't know that.
love Fat Jay.
Yeah. And he'll be in here on Tuesday with us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you do your Friday Night Live?
We usually do it Saturdays.
But not Night Live because we don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's not live. Saturday night.
Greener.
But I
Live.
we were supposed
Saturday night, 7 second delay.
we were supposed to do it this week. I'm not sure if we are actually, but I'll get back.
Because I need
on
a
that.
good place to hang myself. It goes really bad.
Yeah, Adam's bringing up the time the pro wrestler accosted Terry. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, there's a video of that?
Oops. Yes, there is a video out there. Not that Terry's watching this.
Of Terry McNeely?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
But Terry handled it perfectly fine. But
Is it on YouTube?
no, it's not on YouTube. It was one of those like, hey, I have this on my phone. You want to watch? Like,
All right. Finish the Billy story. So Billy Guyer snapped.
Billy Guyer snapped and just started walking towards this guy.
That
And it-
alone would scare me.
And it took Fat Jay, Alex Bradley, Joe Winchell, and I think there was like Noel, who was a large black dude. They all got in front of him and were able to stop him from going and murdering this guy.
I can't even picture Billy fighting. I mean, he's a big dude, but he's the nicest dude.
Yeah, like that's.
Have you ever seen him actually fight?
No,
I can't even picture it.
I've seen him get and I haven't seen him get that angry, and that's why it's such a great story.
Generally, bigger guys don't fight because most guys don't want to fight them, right?
Right, exactly.
Though it depends on where you grew up,
Right.
because sometimes if you are the biggest guy, you are the.
Well, anybody listening out there, I have a lot of people from my Queen circle coming out, so
Just keep that in mind.
keep that in mind, all right? They're going to be the
You-
ones
you're
sitting
getting all
closest
froggy.
Yeah, they're going to be the ones closest to the stage.
Better stay on your pad.
Tex also says that John Stossel got bitched
Yes,
up
he
by
got
a
bitched
Yes.
out by it.
Yeah,
and,
but-
and most people think that's Geraldo Rivera because they
Right.
looked very
Because of
similar
the
at the
mustache
time,
and
right.
everything, yeah.
And I remember that.
Or they think it's
I've been a part of that mustache stereotyping. Mustache face.
Molly.
Stop.
Molly is watching. Hello, Molly. I don't know. I think it'll be great tonight. I think you should set up where a guy should rush the stage. I think people would laugh at that.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I
Why?
think some people would be like,
I think
Oh, they would think it's
jump
real.
up and
unless I let
fuck him up.
everybody know,
Right.
there might be a friend of mine
Yes.
that will.
A friend or not even
not
a friend.
Yeah, people
Just somebody else. Like,
Well, you
it's
could do it in a
craziness.
way that makes
Right.
it look fake. That you're just doing it. That you're just playing on.
I'm
don't
just-
sleep
like I
on
said,
people misunderstanding.
I'm just gonna let my wife
Do it.
sit in the back with my cheat notes, and if I get lost, she's just gonna start screaming out punchlines.
I think that's fantastic.
That's a new take on having your notes up.
You know what it is?
I
It's
love
like
that.
over the last 8 months, my eyes have like just fallen apart. So
I
if
hear ya.
I used to
Yep.
bring a little sheet. If you couldn't even see this big little script. You put on the thing. I can't see. I'm gonna have
Yeah, I can't
fucking,
see that shit.
like cue cards in the back. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave you in the back, and if you see me, I was like, I'm gonna, because I think we're actually, this is funny, because we were actually thinking about setting it up this way. Like, I was gonna be like, hey, so I suffered from ADD. And it's like, oh shit, babe, what was I talking about? Like, your fat ass on the Peloton. I think that'll kill, right?
That actually could work. Yeah.
I think we could incorporate that in somehow.
And you could actually technically be a comedy duo.
Yeah.
Well,
we get into this for the traveling, right?
Yeah.
Let's say,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Here.
Yeah, pump the brakes,
we
man.
get into this. Well, I'll be in Minneapolis, Spokane, and then Arrington, honey. I'll be back.
Walton, New York.
Walton, New York.
Keystone Comedy in Pennsylvania.
I don't know how to say it. I think they say it Worcester.
Waltone, New York.
Adam Snare, plan a guy rushing the stage. Worst idea Tony's had since having the no laugh guy on the show.
Twice.
Adam's been attacking me. He attacked me yesterday, too. Son of a bitch. Wait till you get up here from
Speaking
Florida.
of Froggy.
I'll rush you while you're on the stage, Adam Snare.
That was something. You feeling froggy, leap. I suggest you stay on the pad. There's
How
a guy
about we
from
do-
Virginia who wants I knew in basic training.
How about if
Would say
someone's
that
not
all.
laughing, you bum rush off the stage?
Right.
That's a good idea, too.
Oh,
Why
God.
are you not laughing?
That might actually work.
Yeah, right? Like, that could work. I'll
That's-
tell one of my friends, stay very docile.
That's the Seinfeld episode where that woman wouldn't stop laughing and she kept like,
Oh,
oh,
from
I
the
know.
back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then he got mad at her, so he went to her job.
Right.
Classic stuff, man. Yeah, we actually did it when we did our murder mystery in there a month ago. We actually did the Eric was up on stage, and he said whatever his line was, but he said something at me, and I said, and I walked up towards him, I smacked him, I came back down, and I said, "Keep my wife's name." The place
Keep my
roared,
wife's
man.
name out your
We
mouth.
we were worried. We were like, "It's just getting."
Well, you both are obviously performing and had been performing for some minutes before this happened.
Oh, this was well into the show,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
At least an hour in, yeah. But still, I was, you worry if something like that has already been, talked about so much, and, are they going to laugh, or are they going to, but it was a big hit, which shocked me, but,
But
Wasn't
that
that
could be
big of a
set up
hit.
in many different ways, right? It could be set up in many ways. Be like, damn, nice haircut.
right, exactly.
Keep my
Right.
Bob's name out your mouth.
So that's why I say, though, if you did it playfully, like, where it's obvious that someone rushed the stage, you could get the laugh. Don't look at me like that.
I don't think it would work.
I don't know. I think
I'm saying if it's playful, like if it,
Right.
you'd have to do it just right. It couldn't be off the cuff. Like you'd have to plan it a certain way, like in a show where it's so obvious at a stage and you're making a statement based on that. I think it might get a laugh. I'm not suggesting you do it. But if it's depending on the context.
It just hit me how it could be done, which is what late night comedy shows have been doing for years, is when they have like a heckler where it's somebody who's they're dressed as a character,
right?
And it's like,
and it might even be somebody famous that we know,
right? Exactly.
Right. So that's my point. There's a way to do it. Right.
Okay. See, look at me. I was looking at you like that, but that was mainly the wheels turning.
So
no,
what
that
we
was
do
you
is-
agreeing with Snare, you son of a bitch.
If we go to the Levittown train
put me
station
in.
before the show,
yeah,
and we grab one of the homeless guys and be like, "Hey, you want to come here?" It's clear that this is a joke.
Don't worry.
No one's gonna touch it. Don't worry about
Guy
it.
smells.
That
The good, beat him up.
I'll do anything you want. Just feed me.
Katrina Reese, and I've only heard the story. She was doing a bringer competition in the city, and she didn't have anybody, and she went out and paid these homeless people to come in and be her like 3 people or whatever.
No kidding.
Yeah, and she won the fucking competition.
No.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's a great story. Adam says, "Bring it, Tony." All right, you're on, Adam. And when you're up here in September, I'm going to kick your ass.
Wow. There's no gray area there.
No gray area. I'm coming for you,
Straight
Adam.
at it.
I'm coming. Kubitai. Millennial Stoner. Andy should do this act dressed as Steven Seagal.
What makes a man a man? Well, you think you're tough? You think you're a tough guy, huh?
Anybody see Richie?
Why did the semen cross the road? It's a long story, but The short of it is I put on the wrong pair of socks this morning.
Was that's what?
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
what's that?
Why did the semen cross the road?
Yeah.
It's a long story, but the short of it is I put on the wrong pair of socks this morning. Oh God!
Got it.
Oh my God!
Oh, I got it now.
Yeah,
I got it. The Semen's in the
You know
sock.
what? I'm not singing it. So no, because I sing some like old street jokes.
Okay.
That's something I've been doing lately,
Uh-huh.
and that's one of the jokes I tell. And one of them is, "What did the leper say to the prostitute? Keep the tip."
See, it does work.
Yeah, no.
Yes, it gets the wheels
Yes,
going.
yeah.
But what happened there? We're both sitting there thinking, what cigar movie is that from?
Right. I'm trying to.
That's exactly what we were doing.
See,
Come in socks. Nice.
thank you, Andy. There's Joe saying thank you because that's exactly what he was asking. We're simpatico, so I get it. It's all the weed at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And thanks, Joe, for throwing the come in socks up there for to get them to understand. Thanks.
Well, speaking of weed,
Molly's very upset with. The
I
two
see
of
that.
us.
Oh my God, it took you all that long to get that? Sorry, we're not as smart as you. See, we're getting attacked this morning.
I'm not.
Molly's so smart. Yeah, true. Just us dumb guys from Seaford. So, yeah, speaking of weed, I've been holding on to the story for a week because I wanted to talk about it with you here.
Sweet.
Did you hear about this wedding in Florida where all the food was laced with cannabis?
Oh, nice. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. There will be restaurants as such. Coming.
There are
Oh, I
restaurants
bet.
in California already.
yeah.
That are, it's a
Yeah,
very
but the
big.
problem is they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's.
See, that's fucked up.
People ended up getting violently ill.
Oh, because they were eating too much.
The
great pig in
the,
a blanket.
the caterer
Why is everybody looking at me?
the caterer and the bride ended up getting arrested. The bride worked this out with the caterer. The groom didn't even know. So she was arrested. The caterer was arrested. Let's see.
How happy are you that you live in America now where the woman's the one who got in trouble for that?
Yeah.
And not the dude. Like, it wasn't the dude who was like, because that's like such a dude thing.
a
Like,
dude thing.
yeah. Oh, he was, yeah. Oh, it was the guy. But no, it was
But now the flip
fucking
side,
Ryan.
he's probably like, I can't believe you ruined my wedding like that. I can't believe it. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment.
I should have known something when my anti-roofie nail polish that I got at Duke
How can you do that?
started turning a different color.
I'm my mother's only son. How could you do that to me?
Good thing I'm shooting blanks.
This country is shot.
I couldn't put my seed inside of you if I wanted to at this point.
That must be a fun relationship.
Thank God I can't.
Though, right? If that's, if he liked the joke, that would be a fun relationship.
Right. She's like, this is for making me wear that strap on.
Right. That wouldn't. Right.
Act like a man!
You want a peg?
See, Abe Hannigan always had this great joke about like his girlfriend breaking up with him and that they were into pegging. And he's like, yeah, when she left me for my best friend and she left this huge gaping hole in my heart. I fucking love that joke.
Abe Hannigan is twisted, man.
Yes, no, he is.
That guy scares me.
I haven't seen him in forever. Like,
Yeah, I haven't seen.
He kind
heard
of
his
just
name in
disappeared a
while,
little bit.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so she got arrested. Many of the guests got sick and needed medical treatment.
I've never heard. It's just
Medical
you'll be
treatment.
fine.
Yeah.
Just
Here, sit here. Here's this.
breathe, eat.
Here's some Doritos.
Eat something that's not laced with marijuana.
Right.
Here's some Doritos.
Here's some Doritos. We'll put
And
on
there's
some
plenty more.
commentary.
So when you start fiending for the fucking Cool Ranch, your
We
favorite.
have Cool Ranch. We have the Fire. We have
Right.
all of them. We got all the flavors.
They were charged with tampering, culpable negligence, and delivery of marijuana. All right.
Although I was
Fair.
in Jamaica once, and I did ask a friend of mine who was an EMT. I was like, "Hey, man, can you overdose on pot?" He's like, "No, you're gonna be." He's like, "Just lay down and be fine." But I was young, so I can get it. Like there is a moment
Right.
maybe when you're that high, you can be like, "Holy shit, is this?"
Now, what was was it like? Is that what you were feeling? Like, what were you feeling?
I was
really?
just feeling like it was just everything.
You wouldn't have any kind of reference. There is like
no, I wouldn't.
It is kind of a like that. You start breathing kind of like, oh my god, like I'm so fucked up.
I think I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god,
is this forever?
Jamaica, like not Jamaica, Queens. I was on the island
Right,
of Jamaica.
right.
Thank God, I'm in Jamaica, the island. They get rolled real quick.
Right.
I know I look strung out.
At least in Jamaica, Queens, I was like, oh, they must have been laced with dust.
Right. Sweet.
Now I get it.
This is some kind of ride.
This is some kind of ride.
Yeah. Well, I recently, because I'd never really done edibles, though Maureen Dowd, she's a columnist for the Washington Post. Several years ago, I'm going to say 2014, she went to Colorado when Colorado made everything legal, and she did edibles. And it is the most hilarious fucking column to read. I hate her.
I'm familiar with the name.
What was the name?
Maureen Dowd. D-O-W-D. So and it's so funny because it plays out exactly like the first time you got stoned when you were a kid, because it's like I took one and nothing seemed to be happening, so I took the rest. I ate the rest of it, and then she's like, I wanted to hide underneath the carpet, and nobody was coming to check on me. Like, the guy didn't say anything to me. I'm like, this is where like boomer
meets.
Yeah, like this is exactly what every kid goes through, and now you're going through it as a fucking adult.
Well,
in a hotel room in Colorado.
It's funny because I was, when I got married, my stepson was 15, and I kind of stopped smoking weed because you can't leave a half a joint anywhere.
Right.
Because the entire fucking property will stink.
Yes.
In the garage. So I started trying the oils, and and now I have my 9-year-old, and I'm like, so to be responsible, I got edibles. And one day I'm looking at my wife, it's like, well, what's the worst thing that happens if he finds a giant bag of Sour Patch Kids? Like, I'm trying to be responsible here.
So when I picked up some edibles at the cheese show.
And I was like, how absurd for me to think I'm being responsible. I have candy.
Right. No, I thought this
child will eat on a dime.
Well, that's why I got blue raspberry. I know they don't like that. But I took one, right? I was out for the night. I got home. I'm like, well, let me try one of these. I ate it, watched TV, ate something, fell asleep. Next day, I'm like, wow, that was, that felt good, but I'm going to feel high.
I want to get high.
So I had two, which was a huge fucking mistake because I was asleep for most of the high for the first one. And it just got like, I was sitting on a couch with my wife and she's talking about fences, I think. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And I'm realizing like, I can't.
So taking the second one makes that much of a difference?
It's like you doubled your dose.
Yeah, it
okay,
depends,
yeah.
Right? 'Cause
I just thought they weren't that strong.
They were
it
10.
depends. It's not just on the milligrams, right? So there's also the strain, the percentage of THC.
Right.
I can bake one cookie that can be a bag. When I speaking of Boston, I had to go to Boston in October, and it was the first time I was in a real legal store
with the dispensary,
Dispensary in the city. This
yes.
one was in the city.
Yep.
And it was downstairs, and I was like, but I pulled in at rush hour, and I was like, I left my car. I knew I couldn't park there, and I just I was there for business.
I think that's okay in Boston.
Right, but I was there for business. I was like, I got to get this done quick. So I went downstairs and I was like, holy shit, it was beautiful. It was like the chocolate Willy Wonka's factory of marijuana. And I couldn't spend time there. So I was like, listen, I'm going to be back. I'm like, but let me just grab some of that King Tut. And it was like a chain reaction behind the counter. Like, oh, King Tut. We get one King Tut. And the next guy's like, oh, the King Tut.
This guy wants his face melted off.
Right. And then it got to the girl who goes into, she's like, one King Tut. And it was like a skit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with King Tut? And the guy goes, he's like, oh, it's 95% THC. I rolled a joint, like 3 hits. I got an Uber. I literally called my wife from the bar. I was like,
In nomine Patri Filii Spiritus Sancti.
I've not been this high since I'm 16 years old. Right. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I think I'm all right. I'm like, the bartender told me she's got me because she's looking at me. She's like, sir, do you want anything? He's like, I'm not going to eat. I'm good. Then she's like, you all right? I was like, listen, I went and bought some of this King Tut shit you got in your city.
And then they bring the bar. Oh, the
she's
King
like,
Tut. Oh.
And then I called my wife. I was like, I think I'm going to be fine. And I was sitting in a bar, and I'll be all right. But they have other stuff at like 65%. So it depends on what they're making.
Right.
Because you can eat a 50 milligram or a 10 milligram.
Yeah.
And that's what I think happens. Somebody's like, oh, I ate 20 milligrams, I'm fine. Let me eat 50. And it's like, and then they're fucking knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know? But once you know, then you can like, you do your thing. You
Right,
know?
absolutely.
You're maintaining your own altitude.
It turns you into a disco dancer.
Right.
Turns you into every uncle at a wedding.
Like like what's been coming out now, like the micro doses of mushrooms. Like, right? And they're great. Okay? So I learned 3, you're really high. And then I'm like, 4, you're really high. And you start seeing shit. So it's like, now I know.
Right.
Am I in the mood to see shit? Or am I just in the mood to just listen to the music?
I respect you approaching this as a scientific study.
It has to be.
That's great. That, absolutely.
I have an old friend. He still goes in every now and then. He'll go into the vault and be like, dude, I'm just saving this. This is just from like Studio 54 in 1979. It's like, just take a half, and then take a half of that. You'll be fine. Like, oh my god! It's like, that was fantastic.
Well, that's I have completely relied because I went many years of not doing any of this, and it's the young guys like Joe Winchell and Billy and Fat Jay that they have gotten me educated on a lot of this stuff.
It's funny because you need that.
Yeah, no, you do. You absolutely do because the weed we used to get when I was in high school was like we'd smoke 5 joints in a night between like 6 dudes. Yeah, and we would like be totally awesome, and a dime bag would last us the entire. And it was shit.
Now of some stuff, and I can't fucking.
Well, this last time I went up to the counter at the place that I got it from, and I said, I would like something that would melt my face off. And so and they were like, well, you could do this stuff, and I'm like, no. And the stuff I'm using right now is called Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen.
Yes.
Because it gets you really high.
I guess so. Like it was funny because Jay's like, oh, you know what that is? You know what that actually is?
I don't know. They just started commenting on it, so I don't know. But I mean, I heard you on the headphones, so it maybe it was just maybe it would have been low or something. But
yeah, they're all.
Thank you guys for the heads up.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
That's great though.
I have no clue what I was saying.
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen is. So Jay was like, "Oh, you know why that is there's a place that has a company that has like Gary Payton, the glove stuff, whatever, and they're trying to compete with that." And I'm like,
yeah,
there's like industry
got a strand now. Yeah,
there's like industry insider shit though. And I'm like, I don't care.
I just want good weed.
Right.
I'm just looking for good weed.
I mean, while this is fascinating, let me smoke and then tell me it, because then I'm gonna be like, no shit.
Well, you ever been on a construction site, and a lot of Jamaican guys do a lot of drywall.
Right.
So when I was a plumber, these guys would always be the drywall guys, and they would it's just maintenance weed.
Right.
And they smoke it
all
day long. And I'd be like, I don't know how you guys do that. They're like, yeah, man, this is not that shit. It's like, that's for when I get home.
Yeah, wake and bake is pretty far for me.
Literally, I'll take like 1 or 2 bowl hits of stuff now, and I'm like, I go into like fucking, if I'm alone, I'm into panic mode.
Well, when I first got out of the Air Force, all of my friends who did not smoke weed, who actually told me I was kind of disgusting for smoking weed when we were kids, I got out of the Air Force, and they were all huge potheads. Right. And they're like, dude, you can finally have it, man. Like, you want to... And I'm like, at first I was like, nah, drinking's kind of my thing now. Yeah. But one night they had a blunt, and I'm like, yeah, all right. I took 2 hits off of this blunt, and I woke up like 2 days later, something like that. I was like, what the fuck?
Every cop I know is like, they'll call me. I haven't spoken to him in like 9 years. He's like, hey, I'm retiring next week. Like, you've been waiting your whole fucking, you've been waiting 20 years of this shit, huh?
Well, that's my brother is like, he's a prison nurse, which again is a terrible premise for a porn. But I told him up in Boston, I'm like, hey, I got a little bit of weed. And because he said, oh, we're going to hang out at the bar. I get back. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Tell me when you want to go down. And he's like, because I don't drink anymore. And he's like, oh, we're in for the night, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, damn it, because I brought some weed. And he's like, yeah, I have a federal job, because he works at the Metro in Brooklyn. and he's going to the what is it, West Point. He's going to work at West Point soon. But he's like, I have a federal job. I'm like, it wasn't for you, asshole. Like I was just saying, I had some weed for me. Now I have to look like a complete fucking loser, go outside and smoke this joint by myself in front of this fucking Best Western. Plus. It was a Best Western Plus.
That's at least, hey.
We didn't even see that on the sign. That shows you how burnt my wife and I are. Like, coming back from the wedding, we'd been there this is the second night we were going to be staying there. We pull into the driveway, and I go, Best Western Plus. And she's like, plus what? Like, thinking I'm going to make some kind of joke. I'm like, no, it's called fucking Best Western Plus. She's like, whatever. I'm like, look, it's on the fucking building. It was on the sign. Now look up there.
Right. Now get the bill. Are they charging us differently for the what is it, a surcharge? Best Western plus the surcharge.
Like, unless you bring up the word plus, they charge you. Like, you didn't notice we were plus.
We didn't.
And I didn't have a lighter with me, so I go to the counter. I'm like, fuck.
Nobody has lighters anymore.
This black dude, and I'm like, thank God.
He smokes weed,
but he was either West African.
Sons of bitches.
He was like, Lord.
He's either West African or Caribbean, because I'm like, hey man, do you have any sort of like light flame producing devices anywhere? And he's like, flame producing devices, and he grabs his lighter from behind the sign on the desk. He's like, now you have to bring it back. I'm like, dude, I totally will bring this back. I swear to you. And I said, wait a second. Why are you going to trust me? You just fucking met me. I didn't even tell you what room number.
I didn't even know where I was going to tell you where I'm going.
So, yeah. So I made you. And then he said, just slip it behind here if I'm not up at the front. I'm like, all right.
Nobody has fire anymore.
It's true.
You go to a bar, you got matches, then people look at you, you got 7 heads.
Yeah.
When I bartended, because when I started bartending back here, it was... Still, you could smoke inside, but I guess after being home for a year or so was when the law changed, and I was buying, rewind even further when I would be walking through a grocery store and I would look at a big brick of packs of matches. I'd be, who the fuck is buying this many packs of matches? Like, this is stupid. There I am, I'm going to bring them in so that just in case anybody needed them, and you ain't getting my fucking lighter.
Not getting my lighter, right?
So.
Yeah, smoking in restaurants, that was fun. I remember smoking on planes.
Yeah, when I was very little.
I was like 14, I flew to Vail, and I was meeting friends there, and it was like that international, I guess, that airspace thing. I was on like the last row. My family, I was meeting a friend and his father, and I was going separately. I remember about the last fucking row.
If you were going far enough.
Business guy,
yeah. If you were going far enough, they would
and
let
this guy
you,
was stressed the fuck out, man. And I was 14, and me and this guy were just kicking back little bottles of booze and smoking cigarettes. I thought I ruled the fucking world, man.
I wonder what the poor people are doing.
Shit. It was like the second I go up the plane, my friend's father looked at me. He's like, well, you know I'm responsible for your dumb ass. He's like,
yeah, right, you're drunk.
I was like, hey, I made it. I made it in one piece.
I'm the Pope of Chili Town.
Like, you know,
look for me.
You know, you could drink in the sky, like legally. Like I ordered it. It's like this guy gave it to me, but this guy, this guy was like, he was Del Griffin. Shower curtain salesman. That's who he was, basically. And I hope to God, but just listening to him, he may have hung himself at the hotel when he got there. He was in rough shape, man.
Probably.
He was in rough shape.
Well, yeah.
He gave me the old stay in school talk for 4 hours.
Because he's sitting there drinking and smoking cigarettes with a 14-year-old. That's pretty pathetic.
She sleeps with my brother while I'm traveling.
And don't let her fuck a black guy in front of you. It sounds cool and it's, it'll turn you on, but when she spits his cum into your mouth, it's fucking terrible.
There's gonna be endless videos of this.
Which, by the way, like, that annoys me on a small phone, is to be like, is this one where they're spitting the cum back in the dude's mouth? Because I can't watch that. That's gonna vomit.
No, I don't. That's.
Though it'd be interesting to vomit and cum at the same time. I wonder if you could. Because like you can't pee and cum at the same time. which I just found out. Somebody, remember you guys were talking about
But you have to pee after you come a lot, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
no, and you should.
Right.
I actually did get a urinary tract infection. It's like the least masculine thing that's ever happened to me.
How about when you're not sure and you're like, hold on,
This hurts.
I don't want to. Wait, I might have to pee. Stop!
Yeah.
I don't want to pee in your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah.
We started this too quickly.
Yeah.
I should have peed first. You come second.
Yeah, you don't want to stop in the middle to pee. That's the worst, when you really have to pee, but you're like 16 or 17, and so you're like, I can't because I don't know if this is going to end.
Yes.
With me, I can't
just stop.
Yeah. So, good times.
So what did you just?
Oh! The thing where the semen ends up in the bladder.
Yes.
I was told that there is somebody that we all know. I'll tell you off.
Oh, okay.
Off the air.
That's
It
offline.
was like, apparently, yeah. The cum only comes out when they pee.
Wow. All right, what else we got here?
We could identify who it is. Probably we'll just figure out.
Oh yeah, no, I
who's
mean,
not who Tony doesn't invite onto the show for a couple of months.
if I was like, fucking, give me a fucking name, you probably would get it.
Is it the name that everybody?
That's not a real gun, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Oh, all right, never mind then.
Hey,
All right.
I mean, it's empty anyway.
Yeah.
Just
get sent home from school for doing that shit.
Yeah, true.
One of my kids. It's
This is why the world's full of pussy.
yeah. Well, when because I don't want it out there. That'll be a story we tell after. And you can be like, oh wow,
Yeah.
and she's a girl.
All right, so I got this other story. Olivia Wilde, you guys know who that is?
Love
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde.
Gorgeous,
One of
yeah.
the most beautiful
Do you hear what
women.
happened to her?
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis, the
served her on.
the
well, he
lawyer's
served.
process server.
He claims he knew nothing about it.
Probably did.
Listen, you pay them, right? This
Right.
is what they do. That's their job.
Right.
Their job. And they said you can't get to her. She's got security everywhere. How are you going to get to her?
Right.
That's how you get to her.
If you don't know what we're talking about, she was on stage speaking at a convention. She just has a movie release where she directed it. And in the middle of her speech, all of a sudden somebody throws a manila envelope on the stage. She actually grabbed it, which that alone I thought was kind of weird. I just would have kicked the damn thing off. But she grabbed it. She goes, oh, is this for me? She goes, what is this, a script? She opens it up. It turned out to be...
Well, the guy said, like, Olivia Wilde, you've been served.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like
You don't
one of
hear that
those
in the video I
magic,
saw.
one of those magic words that. Well, that he didn't have the microphone.
Yeah.
You've been served.
You've been served.
But
Can you
but
say
then
that?
it was
cool?
over custody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she must be a little bit of a fucking screwball because most guys will just, they'll take maybe joint custody. They'll, they don't really.
Yeah, but
you
it
don't,
also-
and you're not going to win most of the time, unless there's
Right.
unless there's an extreme case.
But there's game playing also that could be at work there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is not cool.
Yeah.
Come on, Ted Lasso.
There's also great marketing for the movie she was doing, right? So it's like,
Well, true.
You can't trust anything anymore.
But if I'm married to Olivia Wilde, I don't know if I would serve her with any divorce papers. I'd be like, whatever you want, baby.
Can we be clear though that at this point Johnny Depp might be the coolest man on the planet?
Might be the lamest
I love him.
and coolest
Yeah.
person on the earth at the same time.
So I couldn't watch that. I watched one
Oh my
video.
God! The lawyer freaking objected to his own question,
What in the world is going on?
and he's I love. He's like, is that picture? Is that a pile of cocaine? He's like, it appears to be. He's like, that seems to be a lot of cocaine. He's like,
I don't know when this
that all
picture
depends.
was
He
taken.
goes, that all depends on how much cocaine you can do. Is that what I love this guy.
Really?
Basically, he's
Oh
like,
my
he's
goodness.
like, well, that seems like a large beer. He's like, huh.
But he also has like the old guy energy too, with like taking forever to answer. Like,
like you're watching a
I
court
don't-
show from the 70s where
I
everything
don't
is just
know if
drawn out.
yes,
But he's got a new movie coming out, and he's going to be more popular than ever, and he's going to fucking cash in.
right,
And she is very, very pretty.
yes,
Yeah.
and she's
And I'm like, well, I don't
really hot.
understand. I'm like, can I sue my wife for $50 million? The same shit that's on those tapes. I've heard. Like, I'm getting the same fucking
Right.
abuse at my house. So, like, can I sue my wife for $50 million?
Oh, they can shit just on the sheets, not directly on me.
Like what? Every wife hasn't looked at a man and been like, "Go ahead,
And I
tell
don't-
your friends."
And I don't have to request this specially.
Right, exactly.
I don't have to pay extra.
I don't have to pay any extra for this.
So, all right.
Tell your friends.
So Joe Winchell says he's been watching all
Yes.
of it.
I was going to say, Joe and Billy are the two people who have kept me completely up to date with all the stuff. Joe did a great bit at the mic on Monday about.
Oh yeah.
that.
But then Molly's saying love Depp, but not after yesterday with Amber on stand. Anybody know what she's talking about?
No clue.
No, but my wife currently, when I left, was in bed watching. She's taping it. Like she doesn't give
Really?
a shit about any of these things. She's even said to myself, "She's like, I don't know why I'm enthralled, like enamored with this." I'm like, because he's awesome.
I cut school in the 80s to watch the Iran-Contra hearings. I have not seen a lick of this.
No, huh?
No. I don't know. It's like, I feel like there's something wrong with me. I should go get a
No,
pill.
you can't not watch it because it's all they're talking about.
I guess I don't watch this.
We had a woman who was accused for fucking sexually trafficking thousands of people, and the best you can get was a sketch on the next day.
Yeah.
And this is on fucking television.
That's because
This is, as I continue to say, this country is fucking shot.
Molly says he is insane. He violated her with a liquor bottle, but then again, she shit on his head.
Yeah,
on his bed.
Oh, bed.
Yes.
I thought. Oh, jeez. I
Right.
thought it said head. What? She really?
Yeah, she left it. She left it.
See,
She
all right,
shit on the
see,
bed.
here's my problem. I don't give a shit if I don't give a shit if I have a major motion picture out. I don't care if it's my first major motion picture, and this picture will decide if I'm going to be a millionaire or not. I have noticed I'm not willing to go on TV or have people go on TV with me to talk about shitting on my bed.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't go on TV.
He's trying to say
They're
this how
in
crazy
court.
she is. And I'm
sorry.
Who's this? Molly, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. All right? But you don't get a bottle. You're aware the bottle's there and it's coming. Like, it's not like he didn't just.
No,
like,
I was about
would
to
handcuff her down. I doubt it.
I have done that with previous
it's
partners.
been done. I've done it,
like
and
with
I didn't have to pay
champagne
for it.
bottles,
Yeah.
magnums of Smirnoff.
Shit. I hope my wife's still watching that trial. And not this.
My goodness.
But I'm saying, like, okay, if I violate with a bottle, yeah. I'm sure there was an escalation to that first.
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
Little dildo, bigger dildo, bigger dildo.
You're at your elbow, and it's like, you know what? I need
It's
to
a
get.
puppet show.
You know what? It's not about length anymore. This is about thickness. I need to call. Give me the right hander.
Right. Babe, get the Veuve Clicquot Magnum.
You need a rubber mallet if you're really
I'm
going to
just saying
nail it
that-
in there.
Well, that's where my midget friend went.
Because if it's a metal hammer, you risk shattering the bottle in her vagina.
They shared the bed, so in essence, she shit on her own bed. There's mental shit going on
But
there.
that's my point. I don't want this mental shit becoming public information. Where's the level of pride? Where's the level of shame here? Come on.
Right.
Pride and shame have long been dead.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Long
And talk
time
about
ago.
the world going to shit. Yeah, it went to shit 30 years
Decency
ago
is gone.
when the OJ trial
OJ.
and Amy Fisher and all that shit was all going on at the same time. That's when, in my opinion, things really kind of changed in the court system, TV, when it all kind of
It became a show.
Together.
It became a show. Well, that's when judges decided. Like, did you ever know a judge's name before Judge Ito?
Right.
And now you know them all. They're all like now now they put this judge and the prosecutors, and it made them the celebrities.
I truly believe that everything comes down to the over specialization of everything. Case in point, the internet. We have so much information coming at us so fast,
Right.
that you don't get time to become an expert on anything. So when people see the headlines, my favorite one, and I know I talked to you and Sallie about this one time, was the woman with the coffee, the McDonald's coffee.
Oh, yes.
And how if you actually get into that story, she only wanted a couple $100 from McDonald's
That's correct.
to help her out, and they were keeping it way hotter than their own standards
Right.
were. So, yeah, they were at fault. It's a reasonable thing to say that they were at fault. Mm-hmm. But it gets up to the millions, and that's all you see is this headline. Like, oh, fuck this lady. He's just trying to make a buck, and fuck the lawyers and everything. But if the company had just done the right thing to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's
just, for me, it's like, what would you do? You didn't think it was going to be fucking hot? Here's what you do. Go get a car manual.
No, she knew it was hot. Right. But this is the thing. Like,
too hot.
Get into, but no, she didn't even think that it was too hot. She was burned by their product.
Okay.
Turns out their product is kept at an extremely high, more than they even said, by like 50 degrees hotter than what they've imposed on themselves.
Yep.
So it's reasonable to us. You're like, if you've been to any McDonald's, oh, this is the coffee I'm going to get.
Right.
Well, now you happen to go into this McDonald's.
And they're keeping it up 50.
And this thing is fucking scorching hot. So yeah, you might burn yourself with other coffee, but this coffee was
like it was intentionally meant to burn.
Third degree burns on her vagina.
But like you said, she wasn't even initially going for crazy money.
No, she was just like, I need like $1,000.
Right, but you do we do have owner manuals of cars that come out now that tell you not to drink the battery acid.
Oh
right?
yeah, well that's everything.
I mean that just gives you like the idea of fucking like, are we allowing us to be this stupid? Is like at some point somebody should have been like, no, if we have to do this, society's done. Like, what are we teaching anything to anybody? Like you got to tell somebody don't drink the battery acid.
Well,
what do you think percentage of people under 30 years old that can drive a stick shift right now, or change a flat tire on the side of the road?
So stick shift, why is that important? It's kind of like script. Why?
Because you can get that started with a hill.
Okay, but
with no ignition and pop the clutch, and you can get yourself going.
But they can get an Uber there and take care of it later.
Well, I've said that, but I get that. Even with my son, like the reason why these kids are so stupid is because we were in school, we had to learn, we had to know, right? So they're like, they don't need to know until they need to know, and then they just Google it.
Right.
But the problem is you're taking whatever's coming up there as that's, I've put shit on Wikipedia just to see how long it would stay before somebody realized that it was bullshit. And I've gotten 2.5 days. It was my longest. All right. So somebody read shit for 2.5 days and thought what I said was correct.
You make the point of the specialization though. How many, let's say you don't have the owner's manual and you get the jack out. There is a specific fucking place you have to put that jack. Otherwise, you're going to fuck up the car or it's going to fall on you.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, they don't know. And now this is a new car. It's now the next car. It's not the car they learned on or whatever.
But that's what I think, as a parent, right?
This is the over-specialization, though.
And as a parent, I think the first thing you do is, 17, you get your son, boom, let the air out the tire, and you say, change the flat. Teach them how to change the flat.
It's not the kids.
Right.
Though. See, this is what I'm saying. All of this it's all our fault.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And older.
I try and be a little bit more, and I get, and it is some of us, and then we get looked upon like we're the crazy ones. I'm like, no, with my son, like, you got to learn how to do this.
Absolutely.
Well, jack of all trades.
And if I had a daughter, it would be even more important.
Oh yeah.
For a girl to know how to you want your daughter on the side of a road trying to change not knowing how to change a flat. That's how people end up at Gilgo Beach.
Not that I have any inside knowledge.
I don't
have any inside knowledge about that.
They weren't all prostitutes.
They were sex workers.
I hear.
That's what I mean.
I know. There was a child, so it couldn't have been a prostitute.
On the first floor.
Yeah. But it is the over-specialization where we have to trust other people for things. And so that trust can only go so far. And when you talk about liability and things like that, it ends up being so, like, we have to think of a way. We have to do something to make sure these people don't do it.
Yeah.
I was in the Air Force. I can't tell you how many stupid fucking signs I've seen in my life where it's like how
really?
How can you not?
Like, can I meet that person that did that? The first one that did that?
Right. You're like, what? Like, do not stand in front of blast fence during engine run. Yeah. No shit, because you'll be fucking blown into the blast fence if you do that. Like, how? Like, but least common denominator.
Right, they don't know how to change a ribbon in a typewriter, but there are no typewriters.
Right. Well, that's the cursive thing. Like, why?
Listen,
it's not even necessary.
Even as a parent, right? Even as a parent, it's you see it, like people stick around and always on top of the kids, and they, when was the last time we talked about this? Falling out of a tree and breaking your arm and doing all this shit.
Right.
So you're not allowing them, like they got to learn, because then eventually you learn as you grow. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna certain things that your antennas are up. Let me make sure this is right. I know this could be dangerous. This might be dangerous. This might be, and I have these arguments with the neighboring parents. I'm like, no, let him go.
Right.
Like, why are we like, oh, but what if he falls? All right, what if he fucking falls?
Right. No, listen. There is.
Why
enough
are we
of that.
the only ones that have to deal with all the shit that life throws at you? Like, and let your kids
that's
think.
the problem. We
let
end
your
up
kids think it's
trying to
Disney
bail them
World,
out.
right? And we deal with it on our own. Like we deal with it, right? We deal with our work problems and all these things, and we have to persevere and keep going. And we're teaching our kids that it's fucking Disney World, and now Disney World fucked that up. It's like, well, not that Disney World.
Yeah, right.
that's a fantasy world.
Yeah, I used to call it the Disneyfication of America.
I called it the pussification. Yes, the pussification of man. It started with the bike helmet.
My favorite move
with the bike helmet
in my neighborhood. My favorite move.
If you had the helmet, you got knocked off.
No, the kids had the kids now. They have their helmet, but it's like hanging from their. It's like, all right, if you're gonna fucking have it, put it on.
But we didn't. I don't think they made helmets back then.
No, they didn't.
Right, and if I was a kid, if you came down the block with a helmet on, somebody was knocking you off the bike,
right,
to test the validity of the helmet. Like you know what I mean?
You are all right.
That was it. I mean, even now, like we with the kids, everything's organized, and I wrote something about this, right, about everything being organized and organized sports, and like we were kids, just went out and you went, and
right.
A guy break his collarbone, oh, stay here, we'll go get your mother, and then the day ended. Like you just played until you, and it wasn't a big deal.
That's right.
Parents didn't freak out. You weren't not allowed to go out anymore.
Right.
You weren't not allowed to go to the park and play ball.
Right.
Now everything's organized. Everybody's always there, and don't do this, don't do that. It drives me up a fucking wall.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Well, but I will say that I think it's nostalgia that is where you're getting because hey, if it was good enough for me. That's most of our feelings. Most of the times people say these sort of things. They're saying like, what? We grew up and we're fine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is the people who weren't fine aren't here.
It's the boomers' fault, right? So it's the boomers.
It's absolutely the boomers' fault.
Because the boomers were the ones that peaked, right?
Yeah.
And started to spoil, right? So our parents, they were... Their parents. You think about you think your parents are harder. You think about how their grandparents were on them, right?
Yes.
Right.
So on our parents, like our parents were probably working at 11 years old in fucking factories, and like they didn't even have
graduate
time to go
school.
To the park.
Right.
They didn't graduate school,
Right.
and they were fine. Then they got successful. Then they started to spoiling. Right.
A lot of this has to do with population and why the boomers are called the boomers.
That's what the vaccination's for. We're getting rid of the population.
I thought it was so that we can get people easier. We can catch them with the magnet much quicker. But I digress. But there was not a lot, right, of population pre-World War II. So there were the proper amount of schools and other government agencies. So what ended up happening? Boomers come. Like for me, it was my grandparents came home and just started fucking. And I mean, they had 6. My mom's the oldest of 6. So you have this population boom. Now what's going to happen in the next couple of years? They're going to go to school. Well, now you have twice the amount of kids that are coming through the pipeline. So that's when they all of these high schools on Long Island, all these school districts.
They need to be doubled.
When were they all built? Most of them. The
60s,
60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh shit, like we don't have enough resources. So then what happened when we got to that it was like, oh, there's nobody go. Gen X, there's nobody in the schools.
Money selling off the land.
And so then they were austerity budgets, Grumman leaves. Like, I mean, there were some compounding things there, but that's
still not an excuse why these kids are pussies. Sorry.
What's the
it's
boomers?
Still not an excuse why these kids are pussies.
It's not.
Molly brings up a good point. These idiots are running around eating Tide Pods.
I've never actually seen
me neither
anything where anybody has actually eaten a Tide Pod.
Oh, I've seen the videos. I've never seen it in person. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but even like the video, like I haven't seen any videos, but
I've seen some videos where they're doing
Really?
it. Yeah.
But again,
have
it's
to look that
us,
up.
right? It's our fault because at the end of the day, you know, we deal with it. The kids, you got all, you know, I say like the TikTok stuff and all this shit. You know, you got to be aware because a challenge, like a dumb challenge like that, and if these kids are kept in a bubble that everything's beautiful and rosy, they're never going to question the percent that this might be dangerous. And let me think for myself instead of having my mother and my father and everybody tell me what I can do and what I can't do. Yes, I know walking that ledge. I'm telling you, it was a couple of years ago, one of the Little League fields on Washington Avenue, and they had a little brick wall. It might have been 5.5 feet off the ground, and my son's walking on it. He was maybe 6, 7. Got his little winter jacket on, and his feet are a little bit. And I'm like, get off the wall. You're gonna fall. Get off the wall. You're gonna fall. And that was it. I stopped saying it. And then one of them was like, oh, he's still on the wall. I'm like, okay. Boom. Everybody ran.
right.
Except me. And they're like, oh my God, you didn't run. I was like, I told them 2 fucking times don't walk on the wall.
If I get there first, I'm gonna make him hurt even more.
He had his north face. It was just like he bounced off. But he learned at that moment, okay, that's dangerous. And if I'm telling you to do something, I'm not telling you because I don't want you to have fun. I'm telling you because I'm trying to help you. Right? So if we continue to just baby them to such fucking useless pussies.
Oh. No,
they deserve to eat the Tide Pod.
Everybody should take responsibility. Though what's hilarious is like at least you use your kid as an example of he did the wrong thing and whatnot. Just about anybody else that you'll talk to about this will be like, kids these days or whatever, and be like, what's up with your kid? Well, I had to talk to his college counselor because they couldn't get him into a class, and I told them they really had, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's anybody who has kids, and I point to get you, who are like in that 18 to 21 kind of, and where the parents do stuff for them, all I think to myself is like what I was doing at that age. And I'm like, well, I guess I was doing it wrong. I should have fucking like had a better mother and father, first of all, because it's mitzvahs and it's very nice, and I would have loved for this shit to happen. But yeah, there is a certain amount of...
I find myself in that boat often, where I do find myself saying to my son, I wasn't getting help. I had to do it myself when I was your age, or why am I still doing this for you? I will gladly help you with anything you need, but I'm not going to do it for you. I'll help. I'll be there. All you got to do is call. But I hate, especially now, he's 21. I don't like being the guy that has to initiate. I don't like, depending on what it is, but most things. And I hate, like you just said with the wall, I hate having to tell him over and over, or 3 weeks later, hey, did you take care of this thing yet? No, I forgot.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
So my 27-year-old, he was inept until he was 20 to figure anything out. Like, change your mail, you moved. What do I do? What do you mean, what do you do? I remember he was like 18. He was at home and like, listen, the refrigerator guy, I call him up, the refrigerator guy's coming to fix the refrigerator. He calls me like, the guy's ringing the bell. What do I do? I was like, what do you do? You fucking let the guy in. I'm like, what are you nuts?
Right.
Are you nuts? Like, what do you mean? What do you do?
Right.
You're an adult. You're 18. Are you scared the guy's here to kill you? I told you he was coming.
I just talked about it yesterday.
Let him in.
I don't know if you saw it. Sally's youngest just turned 18. He's been driving since January. He has something going on with his car. Sally said, okay, here's the address of the mechanic that we use. She goes, you go there. She goes, I'll meet you there to bring you home. And it was not late, so he was just going to drop the car, throw the key in the box, and leave, because the guy was going to look at it the next day. So this mechanic's garage also has a gas station. Brings the car in, and it's like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. He gets there first. He brings the car in, and a gas attendant comes out. Says, may I help you? And he says, no, I'm just, no. He just says no. He goes, oh, you don't need gas? He goes, no, I don't need gas. So the guy says, well, so what do you need? The response, I'm going to go back in my car and call my mom. I swear to you. He calls Sally and he tells her what's going on. She's like, well, did you tell him you're dropping the car off? And he goes, no. She goes, all right, well, just tell him you're dropping the car off and I'm going to be there soon. And I'm like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
What? And she's like, what? He's never done this before.
Right.
I said, okay, again, he's never done this before, but he couldn't have a conversation.
Well,
I'm just dropping my car
that was
off.
my thing. He would ask, like, what do I say?
Right,
What do I,
right.
like, verbatim? I'm like, dude, it's fucking human, it's human interaction.
Right.
Like, why is this so difficult?
Right.
It's human interaction.
See, I have a massive anxiety of like talking to like a repair person or whatever, but I learned to lean into it and be like,
you have to.
I'm an idiot, so you're gonna have to like I need my car work done. I think that's a thing. My mom is on her way here. I mean, I could call her if you want. Like that's how I probably would have handled that.
Now, all right. So Molly brings up an excellent point.
I'm looking at that. I'm like,
Her son purchased his first home at 23, moved out, buys a car, and then 3 months later, she gets a call that the car was repoed because her idiot son never opened his mail and forgot he had to pay.
Wow, he called you to tell you that? I had a car repoed. I never told my mother.
No, she
I
said
feel like De Niro in Goodfellas. Give me the keys. Give me the phone in here. Give me the phone.
Right. Well, she didn't. She's not saying who called, but even that. I actually don't have a problem with that because he learned himself. You know what? You forgot to pay. The car goes. He never made that mistake again. I bet you.
He learned that mail is important.
Right.
But now you're getting to a new world, right?
I like to call it female.
Yeah.
But go on.
Yeah, exactly. It's very. I don't
They.
be hung up over here. But
They man.
now you're in a different world, right? So these kids, my son's 27. He maybe he was in a bank twice in his life. Everything's online. Is any other thing,
and that's fine.
Which is fine.
Right.
But you got to learn. You still got to learn to adapt to it,
Sure.
right? I mean, he went to college, did the thing. We paid this much. He still had the student loans, and then he ends up going into a trade anyway. And he's like, "Oh, I waste my time." But I'm like, he doesn't understand even the concept of the loans. I'm like, what the fuck were they teaching you?
Right.
I think at least we were getting a little bit more of, and I think that's all part of the
It's at
societal
home.
change. It's all part of the plan. If they don't teach them about it,
Right.
they're going to continue to just borrow the money, right? And
Right.
if they don't give them the big, the facts of real economics, not make believe economics.
But see, I hate when this gets turned. They should have a class in high school where they teach you how to write a check. How about you show your kid how to write a fucking check?
Right. Yep.
Why fuck that? Don't put it into schools.
No.
Right.
Not to write the check, right? How to properly mail it, how to grammatically have it, like because that's a lost art, grammar and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But basic economics, like understand that, because most of these millennials, when they hear this student loan debt forgiveness, they think it means they don't even understand the concept. Like, no,
Right.
this isn't just go away. The university isn't eating the money. That's coming from somewhere. So when he had when COVID had first hit, and they had to, when they first quarantined for 2 weeks and it turned into like 8 months, and he was on unemployment, and he was able to maintain a job with his plumber for cash. He was collecting the unemployment, a little like everybody.
Sure.
Okay, so now it was a good 8 months. He was able to save enough money to get his first apartment.
Okay.
Right? Then they wanted to extend it. And I'm like, well, why? I'm like, you made out. He's like, well, but, I said, where do you think the money's coming from? He's like, it's the government. I'm like, well, where do you think the fucking government gets the money?
Right.
I'm like, it's your money, more. I was like, and so you're going to pay at 25, you're going to pay dearly one day when the 4 guys down the block that don't want to go to work, and then you're making $180,000 as a licensed plumber,
And you'll be the one
and you're
bitching.
paying 50% taxes because you're paying off this guy's debt because he didn't want to go to work. You're able, you're young, you can go to work. The government, I'm like, where do you think the government gets the money?
Right.
Like, so I'm like, you know what? And I swear to God, I told him, I said, you should call I said, he went to Farmingdale, West Virginia. I'm like, you should call both universities, demand your money back. I'm like, what the fuck did they teach you for $160,000? And my wife said, you gotta take it easy. I'm like, I'm gonna call the fucking school.
That's something.
I'm actually just curious
I'm
now.
just out of nowhere.
I mean, I'm yelling because I'm angry.
I read it, like, what did they teach you?
I'm genuinely confused.
I'm the one that showed up at the frat house and showed you guys how to do a funnel. I was like, oh, I'm the one. I'm like, what the fuck were they teaching you?
Right.
But that's the legit thing. They really think when they hear free or free,
Right.
it's not. They don't understand
That's
the concept.
that's an art form that seems to be gone. The pride of hard work.
It's gone.
That seems to be. I don't want to say completely gone, but
It's gone.
it's on its
I deal
way.
with it on a daily basis.
Time for us to go. I'm just going to read this from Adam Snare. True story. Last week when I was in line at a gas station, there was a lady paying for gas with a check. The cashier was baffled. I don't blame him. Who the F pays for gas with a check?
I'm sorry. Is F for
on
fuck?
bouncing it? F is for fuck.
Okay. I got confused. Sorry. I didn't understand the fucking statement. It's like, why is there a fucking
What kind of faggot pays with a check?
All right, that was completely Chris.
With that, it is time to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hashtag not me too.
All right. All right, so tonight's a big night.
If you're around,
Giggle
come on
room.
out. Let's fill that room.
Absolutely. That's a giggle room,
Fill
ladies
out
and
the
gentlemen.
giggle room tonight.
You doing anything this weekend? You playing
No,
anywhere?
I think I'm probably just going to go to shows and
All right.
make them feel bad for not.
So go
booking
find
me.
Andy at a show and take a picture with him. All right, we're out of here. I'll post later or tomorrow. I'm not sure if there's going to be a green room show tomorrow or not. So I'll get back to you guys on that. Otherwise, we will see you Monday. David Clark will be here with us on Monday. Great musician. He does a Billy Joel tribute show. He'll be with us. He's a good friend of mine. He'll be here with us on Monday. I think Big Fat Jay will be here on Tuesday.
Sweet.
On Thursday we have a movie director. I don't forgive me. I forget the name, but I'll get that. And then next Friday, you're back, right?
I'm back.
Yay!
Though unless there's some sort of stupid school shit. I'm like, oh.
Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, that's my wife's birthday.
Oh, so is that a no?
It might be.
Yeah, I would think it.
I already told somebody I can't do a show that night because
Well, yeah, that's a given.
we're going to the fucking elementary school luau. It's hilarious because Tom Crescenzo's on it also, and I just said to him like, "Oh, we're both on this show," and then the next day I was like, "Oh, dude, I can't go on this show," and I started explaining the school dance, and I'm like, "Wait a second, I shouldn't be telling you this. You're not allowed within 500 yards
That's
of that
right.
place."
Everybody have a great weekend. Sallie and I will see you again Monday at 11. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Peace.